In this video, I want to demonstrate some of the different ways we have of editing a project or a data set within Intellectus. And so once you have your project opened or uploaded, we go to the management menu and we click on the edit data button. And this brings us into the spreadsheet so that now we can manipulate data, we can change values, change the names of things, and whatever it is that we want to do. And so as you can see here, the data is now editable. So let's say I wanted to change one of these values in one of my variables. I could just click on that cell, I could enter in the new value, click enter, and now that new value has been created, that value has been changed. If you wanted to find certain values and replace values, you could do that. If you wanted to find all the 100s and change them to 101s, you'd be able to do that here. And you could do that by individual variable as well as by all variables simultaneously. You can also add rows and add columns to your data set. So if you wanted to add a column for a new variable, you could click on the add column. And you can also sort the data by column. So if you wanted to choose reading number 1 and you wanted to sort it by ascending or descending, you could click on that, and as you can see, the columns are now changed based upon reading 1. You can also change how the data, and if you want to go back to where you were before, we can go ahead and click the undo button, and it'll bring the data back to where it was. You can also do that within each individual variable. If you click on the up button, it'll change the ascending and descending order. And if you click it one more time, it brings it back. If you click the center, it brings it back. And so those are some of the different ways we have of editing data. There are also ways to change some of the variables we might be working with, and that's an individual option. So once you've made whatever changes it is you're interested in, we just go ahead and click the Save button, and then it'll bring us back to the project view. Now, if you wanted to enter individual variables or move variables around, if you wanted to rename them, delete them, you could choose the Edit Variables option. And as you can see here, they're listed in order. So if you wanted to reorder them, we can just click and drag a variable to the position that we want it to be. If you wanted to delete a variable, you click on the little red X next to it. If you wanted to change the name of the variable, you just double click on that variable name and then you can change it. And so that allows you to do several things to the variables themselves that's kind of separate from the edit data menu. And once we've made the changes we want to save, we click submit. If we don't want to save them, we simply click close. And then another thing you can do relative to your variables is change the level of measurement that each variable might have. So if we click on the levels of measurement button, you can see here it lists all our variables, and based upon the level of measurement that has currently been assigned to them. And if you want to change a variable's level of measurement, you simply click on the drop-down menu, and then you choose the variable that you want to change, or the scale you want to change it to. So if it's currently scale and you want to change it to ordinal, you click on the ordinal button, and then you can order or put in order the different levels or the different values you want to be. So a simple numeric variable could then become an ordinal variable depending on how the order you want to put them in. In this particular button, you can also merge levels within a variable. So if you wanted to combine different scores into a single kind of aggregate score, you can do that with the merge delete button, or you can delete a value from the variable as well. And whenever you're making changes to variables such as this, I would strongly recommend that you create a new variable, so append new variable, so that your original variable is still there, and then you've got your newly created or newly edited variable will be a new column that will now be a new variable. And so that way you can keep track of changes that you've made. So if you wanted to compare the old variable to the newly edited variable in some way, then you'd be able to do that by keeping it in the data file. In some situations, we might want to completely replace a variable with these new edited changes, and that's fine as well. You just need to click the replace variable option. And so there are several different ways we can work with data, merge it, add it, delete it in these different menus. So hopefully you'll find that to be useful, and good luck using this in your own research.